So legs can be crossed, legs can be long, wherever is that comfortable for you. And we'll just start with a couple of moments to bring awareness to the body. But first and foremost, welcome. If you're new, my name is Sarah, and I am so glad you were able to join me this evening. We have an hour-long practice here, but just we do still operate on the Zoom free account. So after 40 minutes, if you are interested in sticking around for the extra 20 to make it a full hour, we will end this meeting and we will come back into the exact same meeting information, exact same ID number, link, all that kind of stuff. We'll drop right back into it and we'll just get going again at the end of that first 40 minutes. If you only have 40 minutes to join me for this evening, then that is totally fine. I'm happy to have you here for whatever amount of time you are able to be here. So starting off in our comfortable seated position, I just want to take a scan of the body. And this scan is without any judgment, so we're just noticing how we're feeling, where we're at this evening, especially so that as we move into our practice, you have that awareness and you can understand those spaces in your body that are feeling a little bit of extra tension this evening, that are feeling not their 100% quite yet. And then allow those that little bit of extra space, a little bit of extra maybe modification. And those spaces that are feeling particularly good this evening, and allowing those spaces to maybe increase the intensity of poses. So starting that scan from the top of the head, moving all the way down to the tips of your toes. Noticing those points of tension, and as always, if you have a range of motion that you would like to begin with this evening that's going to feel particularly good for you based on those points of tension, I want to invite you to find it here. So if you found that tension maybe in the head and the neck, maybe it's a roll of the head side to side. If it's through the spine, maybe it's a spinal twist. If it's through the core, maybe it's a lateral stretch. If it's through the legs, maybe you take them out long and fold forward. Wherever you need to be, we're going to take about 4 or 5 nice deep breaths in that initial range or ranges of motion. So I invite you to play around with a couple of those, see if anyone in particular feels good this evening. And this is your practice this evening as well. So any places during the practice that you don't feel 100% comfortable moving into a pose, or if you'd like to take a different option, I want to welcome you to do so. Take about 2 more nice deep breaths in that initial range or ranges of motion that you've found. And when you finish that second nice deep breath, just go ahead and bring it on back to center, back to that comfortable seated position. Again, the legs can be folded in, the legs can be out long, wherever you're feeling good this evening. And we are going to start off with a couple of those ranges of motion just to kind of get warmed up, and then we'll move right into our flow. So the very first range of motion, we're going to start from the top and work our way down. So let's start with the head and the neck. With your next big inhale, I want you to really lengthen through the spine. Consider your posture. Maybe pull those shoulder blades just slightly together. Leave the shoulders nice and low away from the ears. And then we're going to roll out that head and neck. So with your next exhale, go ahead and drop your chin to your chest. Nice and easy and slow here. We're going to rock the head side to side. So go ahead and bring that right ear towards that right shoulder, and then back down through center, same thing to that other side. Just nice and easy, side to side, finding that stretch through the side of the neck. You can always take it a little bit more intense by looking up towards that corner of the room, or less intense by just moving a little bit less in that range of motion. Continuing to breathe, continuing to keep those shoulders low away from the ears, and keeping that range of motion going there. Let's take 2 more nice deep breaths in that initial range of motion. And with that next exhale, go ahead and drop up into that chest. And then with that next inhale, go ahead and lift my head nice and tall. Alrighty, moving on to those shoulders. I'll give them a couple of nice circles because they do have some work in our little flow and our down dog this evening. So let's just start with a couple of nice big shoulder circles, finding that range of motion to the direction. Any is fine. We will switch at that halfway. So just finding them up towards the shoulders or up towards the ears and then down and around. Right here, go ahead and switch directions. So take it that opposite way. Same thing, nice shoulder circles, bring them around. Fabulous. One more nice big circle in that direction, and then go ahead and release those shoulders nice and low away from the ears. Moving down, let's go into our lateral stretch next. With your next big inhale, go ahead and take those arms out and up, nice and long towards the ceiling. Our next exhale takes that right hand down to the mat, left arm up over top. Nice stretch in that first direction. Feel free to bring that elbow down if you've got that range, or just keep that palm down if that's what feels good. Next inhale pulls us up nice and long through center, lengthening towards the ceiling. Exhale takes us down to that second side. Now from here, I want you to take this at your own pace. So with each of your inhales, pulling through center, with each of your exhales, coming down in that opposite direction, and just moving nice and easy here, side to side. If you're moving a little faster or slower than me tonight, that's okay. Moving at a pace that works for you. Again, this is your practice. With each inhale, coming nice and long through center, finding that big stretch. Excellent. We're going to take 2 more nice deep breaths, or 3 if you need to even up. I want you to hit both sides one more time. Finish out with that second side, that left hand down to the mat. We're going to go right into our spinal twist next. So if you're someone who likes to take your arms up long through your spinal twist, I invite you to move right into that. If you're not someone who likes to take those arms up long, when you get done with that second one, just go ahead and circle those arms down and around. We'll go right into our spinal twist. So inhale finds our long spine. Again, you can use those arms as we come through center. Exhale takes us to that first side. Opening those shoulders towards that side wall. Opposite side hand comes around to the outside of that leg. Same side hand comes around behind the back, opening those shoulders towards that side wall. From here, we're going to move it nice and easy. Once again, with the pace of your breath side to side. You can keep your arms low as you move through center, or you can bring them up nice and long as you move through center, and then over in that opposite direction. Once again, just kind of moving it at your own pace here, keeping your breath flowing nice and deep. And again, allowing that spine to come nice and long as you move through center. Again, if it's more comfortable for you to leave those arms low, no need to bring them up long each time you come through center. You can just pull them to those knees side to side. Great, let's do 1 more time in each direction. So 2 more deep breaths, 3 if you need to even up. Make sure you hit that second direction 1 final time. And after that, just pulling it back to center, nice long spine. All right, the only thing that we're going to do from here as our warm-up part before we hit our flow is a little bit of lower body stretch, because when we get into our flow, we're going to get right into it. I'm going to turn sideways just so that you can see me, but we're going to take our legs out nice and long. So feel free to readjust if you need a little bit of extra space there. We're going to start off with just a nice easy forward fold. So go ahead and find that nice big inhale, find your long spine, and then I want you to just kind of inch your way down, fingertips towards the ankles, fingertips towards the toes, wherever your range of motion allows you to go, allowing the spine to relax, release, and round into this. Maybe let the head and the neck release. Maybe that's not comfortable, so you keep the head up nice and tall. Wherever you need to be there, taking a couple of nice deep breaths. Next inhale rolls us up. We're going to take it to one leg, so I want you to take that left foot pull it in, bottom of the foot comes towards that inner thigh, right leg is still out nice and long. Same exact thing. If you like to start with those long arms up overhead, feel free to do that. And then once again, we're just gonna fold it forward. Fingertips towards the ankles, fingertips towards the toes, finding wherever you need to be there. Focusing in on that right leg, focusing in on that stretch. Maybe you get a little bit more release with that next exhale, letting the lower back release a little bit, letting the shoulders release a little bit. Once again, maybe the head and the neck release. Maybe that doesn't feel good, so you leave it nice and long. Next, inhale rolls us up to seated. We're gonna find our spinal twist next. So we're moving our left leg. We're gonna cross it over that right leg. I want you to take your right arm up nice and long towards the ceiling. Spinal twist towards that crossed over left leg. And you can bring that right elbow around to the outside of that knee. You can bring it around as a wrap with that hand, wherever you need to be for this spinal twist. Let's take it to our counter twist, so other direction. Inhale pulls us through center, leg is still crossed over. Exhale takes us with those shoulders towards that right wall. Next, exhale brings us back to center. And we're just gonna finish out with a figure 4 stretch on this leg. So keeping that leg crossed over, I'm gonna use my hands for a little support, bend the right knee, plant the foot. We've got some options here for intensity. Your least intense option is just gonna be to leave that leg long. Your second most intense option, we're bending that knee, we're lengthening that spine, we're folding in, keeping that left knee out. Your most intense option is to roll it back onto your back, interlace those hands under that right knee. And once again, just thinking about pressing that left knee away from the body, opening up in that nice stretch, that figure 4 stretch. Fabulous. If you rocked it back, let's go ahead and bring it on up. Let's just hit those same stretches on that second side. So go ahead and release that left leg. It goes out nice and long. Bottom of that right foot finds that inner thigh. Let's start with our forward fold. Once again, you can take those arms up long, or you can just fold it forward, walking those fingertips out, finding that nice stretch, exhaling into it, finding that lower back release. Take one more nice deep breath here. See if you can get another centimeter further into the stretch. And next inhale releases it, brings it up nice and tall. Let's hit our spinal twist next. That right leg crosses over the left. Let's go towards that right leg first. Left arm goes up in the air. Again, you can bring it around with that grab. You can bring that elbow around to the outside. Same side hand comes around behind the back. Let's find our counter twist here. Our exhale releases, brings us back to center. Over in that other direction, shoulders towards that outside wall. Again, elbow can come around if you'd like, hand can come around if you'd like. Next exhale, go ahead and release that back to center. We're finishing up our warm-up stretches with that figure 4 with this leg. So using those hands for support, bending that left knee, planting the foot. Once again, you've got those same 3 options. You can always keep that leg long. You can just find that long spine here, or you can rock it back, interlace those hands underneath that left knee, and take a moment here to find that nice stretch. Alrighty, if you rocked it on back, go ahead and bring it back up to seated. We're going to take a moment to transition to where the beginning of our flow will be, which is going to be standing at the top of our mat. So feel free to grab a sip of your beverage of choice if you have one nearby, and then bring it on up to standing. We'll start off in our mountain pose. At the top of our mat, so we've got our space behind us. So take your time, like I said, grab a sip of that beverage if you'd like to. When you get to that standing posture, bringing those feet underneath those hips, and then I invite you again, if you'd like any range of motion, just to kind of get started with here, you can bring it into a little spinal twist, into a lateral stretch, into a forward fold. Take it about 4 nice deep breaths here. Maybe you just shake it out a little bit and get ready to go. I'm just gonna help you get warmed up and ready to get moving. All right, so we're kind of going to build into our flow. We'll start a little bit slower. I will move us slowly through our movements our first time through. It's a two-sided flow, so we'll do all one leg, and then we'll bring it back and do the other leg. We're going to work on a lot of balance. I just want to make sure that you're being safe for you. So if you know that you're a little unstable and you want to have something nearby as an extra point of contact, or just don't go quite as deep into those poses and those postures if you know that you're going to feel super unstable and it's going to be unsafe for you this evening. So let's go ahead and find that mountain pose. If you're finding any of those ranges of motion, those feet are right underneath those hips. Those shoulders are low away from the ears, but nice and square. Pulling that posture good, nice long spine, fingertips down towards the floor. We're going to start off with 2 nice deep breaths leading with those arms. Our inhale is going to sweep those arms out and up towards the ceiling, and our exhale is just going to circle them down and around. We're going to do that one more time, all the way up, all the way down. Inhale takes us out and up towards the ceiling. Exhale circles us down and around. This time we're going to bring it into a forward fold. So inhale takes us out and up nice and long towards the ceiling, and then fingertips down towards the toes. This is those nice warm-up stretches we're getting us ready for. Now if those legs are one of those places of tension, feel free to have a generous bend in those knees as we get started, as we get warmed up. If you're feeling good and you're feeling flexible this evening, feel free to keep those legs a little bit longer. Let's take it into a halfway lift. We're going to find a nice flat back, long spine, fingertips right around the shins or the knees. Exhale, fold us forward all the way down, fingertips towards the toes. One more time, halfway lift. Nice flat back, long spine, fingertips right around the shins or the knees. Exhale, fold us forward. Fabulous. From here, we're taking it into a lunge, our crescent lunge. Why don't you take that right foot, step it back long, that heel stays up off of your mat. From here, we're going to do a little warm up to our balance pose. It's going to be kind of like our single leg squat. We're just going to float for a second off of the floor. I want you to lengthen that left leg, float up with those right legs, and then just set it right back down. Bend that left knee and bring it right back down. We're just going to do that twice more. So bringing it up, halfway up off the floor, lengthen that leg, and then back down. Starting to find your balance as you come up. One more time, that last time, that warm up, bringing it up, and then setting it back down. We're back in that lunge. From here, I want you to go ahead and sweep those arms up. We're taking it into our crescent lunge. We've got a nice bend in that left knee. We're strengthening and lengthening through the core to find our balance. Let's take this to our warrior 2. Turn your right heel down, open your arms up nice and long from front to back. Once again, we've got that bend in that left knee. That right leg is nice and long, heel on the floor. Let's take our peaceful warrior, reverse it, flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Our exhale takes us back out to center. That warrior 2, fingertips nice and long, torso nice and long. We're going to take it to our extended side angle. Left elbow bends, comes down to that left knee. Right arm comes up towards the ceiling or up over top. Next inhale takes us back up to that warrior 2 one final time. And then we're going to transition it back to our crescent lunge. So I'm going to take my right hand, it's going to come forward, and my right heel is going to come back up off of the floor. Take your time with that transition. That can be a tricky one. We're going to fold it forward. Fingertips come down to the mat. We're taking it to our 3-legged dog or our downward facing dog. So that left foot is going to go back. You can take it right into that 3-legged dog with that left leg up, or you can transition through that down dog and then bring it up. Really brief hip opener here. I want you to bend that left knee and then just open just slightly up with that knee for that hip. Not quite to that point of unbalance, but opening it up. Next, inhale, lengthens that left leg and bring it down to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Let's take a moment in this down dog. Ears are between the biceps. Legs, again, maybe they're a little bit bent. Maybe you pedal out those heels. The shoulders are nice and warmed up and ready to support us in this down dog. We're going to take this to our low flow. So from here, I want you to float those shoulders out of those wrists. We're in that high push-up plank position. From our toes or knees, we're taking our chaturanga. Keep the elbows close to the body. Lower it down when you hit the bottom into that cobra or baby cobra. Lengthening the arms and the chest up, the thighs meet the mat. Our exhale turns those toes over, and then we're going to take it back to that down dog. You can transition with knees down and then lift them up, or you can go right from that cobra to our downward facing dog. Let's take it back to our 3-legged dog, left leg up and back. Once again, little hip opener if it felt good. Bend that left knee, open it up just slightly towards that left wall. Inhale, lengthens that left leg. We're taking it back to our lunge. Bend your right knee, sweep your left leg forward, plant it down, ankle right underneath your knee. Fabulous. From here, we've got that warrior three practice. Once again, we're gonna lift it straight up just once this time, lengthening our left leg, standing up towards the ceiling, a little balance, and then go ahead and set it right back down. We're taking it back up the way we came from. Let's take it to our crescent, sweep our arms up. Warrior two, turn the right heel down, open the arms. Peaceful, flip the front palm, lift it up and back, reverse your warrior. Take it back out to center, warrior two. Bend the left elbow down to that left knee, right arm up over top, extended side angle. Final time, back to that warrior two, lengthen that torso, lengthen those arms. We're transitioning back to our crescent. Right fingertips come forward, right heel comes up. Excellent, hinge just slightly forward at those hips and step that right foot to meet the left back in our forward fold. Awesome. Give me one halfway lift. Nice flat back on the spine. Fold it forward. Our inhale rolls us all the way up to our extended mountain. Pull the palms together. Bring them down to heart center. All right, awesome. It was a lot of movement there. There was a lot of things going on, but that's the baseline of our flow. Those are our baseline movements. So anywhere from here, if I take it up a notch, and you prefer to stick to what we just did, I invite you to stick to what we just did. Everything from here is just going to be an option to increase intensity if you'd like to. Need a quick sip after you finish that first one before we move to the second side. I would invite you to take a sip. We're going to meet with those two nice deep breaths here. So our inhale takes those arms out and up, nice and long. Our exhale circles them down and around. If you grab that sip, just hop in whenever you're done with that sip. Same thing one more time. Inhale all the way up. And back down. This last one, we're going to find that forward fold. Inhale takes us up. Exhale folds us forward. Again, maybe there's still that bend in those knees. That's totally fine. Let's take one halfway lift. Nice flat back on spine. And fold it forward. Fabulous. Let's take this one into our lunge. Left leg steps back nice and long this time. Right knee bends. We're going to do our three warrior three practices. So lengthening straight up into that balance for just a moment. And then setting right back down. Now, if this is a super challenging move for you, maybe the second side's a little harder. Maybe you just lengthen that leg, work on that movement, and then bring it back down. We've got one more practice here. So moving into that third time, lengthening up, and then bringing it down. When you finish that third practice, we're going right into that crescent, sweeping our arms up. That right knee is bent. Fabulous, looking good. All right, let's take this into our warrior two. Turn the left heel down, open those arms up. Peaceful, flips our front palm, lifts it up and back. Take it back out to center. We've got that extended side angle. Bend that right elbow, bring it down to that right knee. Left arm comes up over top. Maybe it just goes up towards the ceiling. Maybe it goes out a little longer. Let's take it back to our centered warrior two. Torso comes long, arms come long. Fabulous. Transitioning back to our crescent. Left fingertips come forward. Left heel lifts. Find your balance once again. Use your core to strengthen. Awesome. Let's fold it forward from here. Fingertips towards the mat. We've got that three-legged dog, optional hip opener. Right foot. Again, you can step it back or you can go right up and back into that three-legged dog. Bending that right knee if you'd like that hip opener and opening up towards that side wall. If that's not comfortable for you, just keep that leg nice and long. If you found that hip opener, go ahead and lengthen it and then set it down right next to that left leg. We're in our downward facing dog. Fabulous. Let's take this into our low flow, floating those shoulders out over those wrists. Toes or knees. We're going to take our chaturanga to bring it down to the mat. Lift the chest into crescent. Tops of the feet meet the mat, thighs on the mat, or cobra, there we go, that's the word I was looking for. And let's take it into our downward facing dog. Curl those toes under, press those hips up and back. We've got that three-legged dog with our right leg, once again, right foot up and back. Option for that hip opener if you'd like it. Feel free to keep that leg long if you're not there. We're going to bend that left knee, we're going to sweep that right foot forward back into that lunge. We've got that practice warrior 3 lengthening straight up just one time this time. Taking it up towards the ceiling, find that length, and then bring it right back down. When you get back down, let's take those arms up into our crescent once again, sweeping them up, finding your balance. Fabulous work, you guys. Warrior 2. Turn that left heel down, open those arms up. Peaceful, flips the front palm, lifts it up and back. Well, let's take it back out to center, extended side angle, bend the right elbow, take the left arm up over top. Inhale takes us back up to center, nice and long. Crescent, left hand comes forward, left heel comes up. Excellent. From here, we're taking it to our forward fold. So hinging just slightly forward at those hips, pressing off of that left leg, comes forward to meet the right, forward fold. Let's take our halfway lift. Nice flat back, long spine. Exhale, folds us forward. And let's take it up to our extended mountain, rolling it all the way up. Palms meet up overhead, and then hands come down to heart center. Once again, an option to grab a sip, take a moment, shake it out a little bit if you need to. We're gonna move right back into it in just a moment. Going back to that right side. Back to our right side. All righty. After you finish that sit, we're going to start with just one nice deep breath, which will take us right into our forward fold. Inhale, takes those arms out and up. Exhale, folds us forward, fingertips down towards the floor. We've got one halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale, folds us forward. Let's take that right foot back nice and long into our lunge. Here we've got our warrior 3. If you can find a little hold, I want to invite you to find a little hold. We're lengthening up, we're finding our balance on that right foot or that left foot. Maybe those toes stay down. Maybe those feet come up. Maybe you pull the palms to heart center. Maybe we take that full warrior 3, lengthening those arms wherever you need to be. Take a moment. If you come out of it, try and come back into it. Give me one more inhale, and our next exhale sets that foot down. We're taking it into our crescent, sweeping those arms up nice and long, bending that left knee. Fabulous work, you guys. Warrior 2, turn the right heel down, open the arms. Peaceful, flips the front palm, lift it up and back. Take it back out to center, nice long into our warrior 2. Bend the left elbow, extended side angle, bring it down towards that leg. Option to intensify by releasing that left elbow from that left knee and just bringing it right in front as a float. A little more work for that core. Next inhale takes us back up, warrior 2. Transitioning to our crescent, right hand comes forward, right heel comes up. Fingertips float to the mat. We're going into that 3-legged dog. Fingertips come down. Left foot transitions, brings it up and back. If you'd like that hip opener, please feel free to take that hip opener, bending that knee, opening that hip towards that left wall. And then lengthening once again. Let's set that left foot down next to the right. We've got our low flow here. Exhale, float those shoulders out over those wrists. Toes or knees, we lower through our chaturanga. I'm going to keep the elbows close. And then press up into cobra or baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, turns our toes over, hips up and back, downward facing dog. One more time through that 3-legged dog with our left. Take it up and back. Option for your hip opener if that feels good. If you found it, lengthen that leg, bend that right knee, sweep the left leg forward, we're back in that lunge. We've got one more warrior 3 on this side. Lengthening straight up. Feel free to take a little bit of a transition if you need to. And then bring it up. We're working on getting our body parallel. Now, if you need that extra help, like I said, maybe something's right next to you. Maybe you come into and out of it a few times here. Palms can be at heart center. One more inhale. Exhale, sets that foot down. Take it into crescent once you've released, sweeping those arms up. Warrior 2, right heel turns down, open those arms. Peaceful, flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Back out to center, warrior 2. Extended side angle. Bend the elbow, bring it up. Option once again, take that arm away if you'd like to. Take it back up to center. Transitioning to our crescent. Right fingertips come forward. Right heel comes up. Hinge forward at the hips. Step that right foot forward to meet the left into our forward fold. Let's take a halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Fold it forward. Let's roll it all the way up, extended mountain. Palms come together. And bring them down to heart center. Fabulous. Same option as before. Feel free to grab a sip. Take a moment, shake it out if you'd like to. All right. We're going to go one more time in this practice. We're going to work on that other side, final time through. And then, like I said, we do have that extra 20 minutes. If you'd like to rejoin and keep it on going, we'll keep working with this flow, keep taking it up in intensity. But like I said, if you only have 40 minutes to join me for this evening, thank you for being here for this first 48 minutes. Let's start with our inhale to our forward fold. Take those arms out now. Fold it forward. Excellent. We've got one halfway lift. Nice flat back on spine. And fold it forward. Let's take that left leg back nice and long into that lunge. Alrighty, from here, we've got our warrior three. Lengthening up, finding that balanced posture. If you can, once again, trying to bring it even, maybe take those arms out long, maybe bring those palms to heart center. One more inhale. And our exhale sets it down. Take it to crescent, sweep the arms up. Warrior two, turn the left heel down, open those arms. Peaceful, flips the front palm, lift it up and back. Take it back out to center, warrior two. Extended side angle, right elbow towards that right knee, left arm up over top. Feel free to take that right arm away from that knee. Fabulous. Next inhale takes us back up to our center, warrior two. Back to crescent, sweep the left hand forward, bring that left heel up. We're folding it forward to take it to our three-legged dog. Fingertips come down towards the mat, right foot goes up and back, three-legged dog. Hip opener option here. If you found your hip opener, go ahead and lengthen that leg, set that right foot down next to the left. We've got our low flow here. One more time in this practice. Float the shoulders out over the wrists, from your toes or your knees, we're lowering down. Press the chest up, cobra or up dog. And then turn those toes over, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Fabulous, we've got that three-legged dog. Once again, let's take that right foot up and back. Option for your hip opener. If you found it, go ahead and lengthen that leg, bend the left knee, let's sweep that right leg forward and plant it down. We've got our final warrior three on this side, our final balance here. Lengthening up, finding your balance. Again, take a moment if you need to tap those toes down, have that something to hold on to. Fabulous. One more inhale, and then that exhale sets it down. We take it to crescent. Crescent to warrior two, turn that left heel down, open those arms. To peaceful, flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Out to center. Extended side angle. Right elbow towards that knee, left arm up over top. Back to center, warrior two. To our crescent. Sweep that left hand forward, bring that left heel up. To our forward fold, hinge at those hips, press off of that left leg, bring it forward to meet the right. Give me a halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Forward fold. Up to our extended mountain. Roll it up nice and long. Palms meet. Pulling down to heart center. Once again, if you are rejoining me for our extra 20 minutes, we're right back in this exact same meeting information. If you could only join me for our first 40, thank you so much for being here this evening. The light in me honors the light in you. Bowing as we say, namaste. I hope to see a bunch of you guys back for our last 20 minutes.
So we're just going to get right back into it and get moving again before we cool off at all. So finding that mountain pose, those feet right underneath those hips, taking just a moment to consider your posture, pulling the shoulder blades together, leaving those shoulders nice and low away from the ears. Maybe the fingertips face the floor and the palms face forward. Maybe they face the body. Maybe they rest easily on your legs, wherever they need to be. Maybe you strike a power pose for a minute here. Let's take our 3 nice deep breaths once again. That third one will bring us to our forward fold. Let's lead with those arms. Go ahead and take that big inhale, taking those arms out and up. Exhale just brings them down and around. Same exact thing one more time. Inhale takes us out and up. Exhale brings us down and around. Fabulous on this third one. We're going to take it to our forward fold. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, fold us forward. Fingertips down towards that mat. Once again, maybe those legs are longer than they were when we got started. Maybe you still got that generous bend in those. Wherever you are is fabulous. Let's take our halfway nice long time. Exhale to fold forward into it. We're going to take that right leg back nice and long into that lunge. Step it back, find that lunge, that nice bend in that left knee. We're taking this right up into our warrior 3. So kind of like a single leg squat that we've been doing here. Try and press straight up, catch your balance if you need to tap that toe down, and then find it there. Keep our spine nice and long. Maybe hands come to heart center. Maybe you take them out long. Maybe they're towards the floor, wherever you need to be. Keep a little bend in that standing leg. Feel those muscles working, especially if you're on carpet here. Give me one more inhale. Can you get a little longer? Exhale, bring that right toe down to the mat. Bring it back to that lunge. Bring it into our crescent. Awesome work, you guys. Tough balance there. Let's take it out to our warrior 2. Turn that right heel down. Open those arms up. Take it to our peaceful. Front palm lifted up and back. Exhale takes us out to our warrior 2. Extended side angle. We're going to take an option up here if you'd like to. So we're bringing that elbow towards the knee. We're bringing that arm up over top. Now, like I said, we've got lots of balance options here this evening. So I want to give you the option of your half moon if you're up for it. If not, you can stay right here. Maybe challenge yourself by bringing that hand away from the knee. For our half moon, I'm going to aim my fingertips for out in front and just slightly behind. And I'm going to come off of that right leg once again, finding that length. Now our goal for our half moon is to open the hips, to open the shoulders, and to find that balance. So you have to play around with it. It's a challenging pose. It's just challenging posture. Feel free to tap those toes down and come back into it. Find one more inhale if you've got that balanced posture, and then exhale, bends that knee, brings it down. Let's take it back to our warrior 2. That left leg is working here. Excellent. Let's take it right heel forward, right heels come off the mat. Let's fold it forward, fingertips down, and our 3-legged dog. Left leg goes up and back. Option to flip your dog here. If you're taking the opener, we're bending that knee, bring that left leg all the way over, and we're going to release that hand. Right leg is long, right hand is standing. If this is not a pose that you try, just take it to that down dog. If you found that flip dog, let's take it over and meet them there. Left hand down, left leg back up to our 3-legged dog and set it down next to the right downward facing dog. We've got our lower, our shoulders out over our wrists. Toes or knees lower through our chaturanga. Inhale presses the chest up. Our upward facing dog. Exhale turns the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Whew, fabulous. All right, same options here. You can stay in this down dog for an extra moment if you'd like to. You can take it into that flip dog. We've got our 3-legged with that left leg, bending that knee, opening through the hip. If you'd like to bring it all the way over, you can. Taking a moment, finding that stability, keeping those hips up nice and high. If you found that flip dog, let's meet our friends in our 3-legged dog. Left leg goes up. We're going to bend that right knee. We're going to sweep the left leg forward. We're back in that lunge. Lots of work for this left leg here. We've got our warrior 3 once again. Let's take it up. Ooh. A little shorter of a balance than last time. So take a moment, come into it. If you've got your camera on, maybe give yourself a look. And then our next exhale is going to set it right down and sweep it into our crescent. Awesome work, you guys. Warrior 2, turn the right heel down, open the arms. Peaceful, flips our front palm, lifts it up and back. Let's take it back out to centered. Extended side angle. Bend the elbow, bring it down towards the knee. Right arm up over top. Option for that half moon. Once again, if you'd like to. Stepping off of that right leg, bringing it up into a brief balance. Feel free to keep in that extended angle. If you found half moon, take a moment to get to it. And then exhale, brings you right out of it. Let's take it back into our warrior two. Fabulous work, you guys. Crescent, right hand comes forward, right heel comes up. Fold it forward. Oh, not quite. We're stepping that right foot forward to meet the left. We're folding it slightly with those hips, stepping it in our forward fold. There we go. All right. Let's take one halfway lift. When you get forward fold, inhale, flat back. And fold us forward. Inhale takes us all to our extend mountain. Meet up overhead. And then pull them down to heart center. Fabulous. When you get there, take a miniature break. Once like a sip, take it out. Maybe you just hang out in that mountain pose for a moment. Certainly going to sit. That was a tough one. All right, all right. Whew. Okay. So after you've taken a moment to grab a sip of your beverage, out a little, we're going to roll back to that mountain pose at the top of our mat. Got to hit that still. Lots of work this time for our right leg, lots of balance, stability. Left leg is tired for me, most certainly. Hope you guys are feeling like yours are working too. Let's take our 2 breaths. Our second one is going to fold forward. Inhale takes those arms out and up. Exhale brings the arms down and around. We're going to fold forward. Inhale takes us out and up. Fold it forward, fingertips down to the toes. Got our single halfway lift here. Nice flat back long spine. And then fold it forward once again. Fabulous. Take it back into that lunge. Very briefly, left leg back nice and long. Right knee bends. Starting off strong. First warrior 3 here. We've got a little bit of a hold. We're taking it right up into that balance pose. Take your time finding your center. Maybe try and get those hips a little bit more even, those shoulders a little bit more even facing the floor. Once again, palms can meet right at heart center. Arms can come out long or out to the back. Maybe you still have toe tap down for extra stability. That's totally fine. Nice work. You got that little mat standing leg. Give me one more inhale. You got it. Next exhale, sets that down, takes us into our crescent. Let's take it to our warrior 2. Left heel turns down, arms open up. Peaceful, flips our front palm, lifts it up and back. Back out to center, warrior 2. Extended side angle. Elbow comes down towards that knee, other elbow or other arm comes up over top. Option to just keep it here and intensify by letting that knee go. Option for our half moon. Half moon, once again, I'm gonna aim my fingertips towards just right out over the edge of my mat. Trying to find that length, trying to open those hips. Take a moment there. Awesome. With your next exhale, bring it down and then up into our warrior 2. Fabulous work, guys. From left arm circle, left heel comes. We're going to fold it forward. Fingertips down to the mat. 3-legged dog with that right leg. Taking it up and back. Option to keep it here or set that leg down. Option for your hip opener and option to flip your dog. Right leg comes all the way over, left leg is long, right arm comes up over top, left arm is supporting you. If you found that flip dog, let's go ahead and meet those in that 3-legged dog and take it all to our downward facing dog. Right foot goes down to meet the left. Whew. Awesome work, you guys. Let's hit that low flow. Shoulders float out over those wrists. Toes or knees, keep the elbows close, lower through your chaturanga, and then turn those toes over, press those hips up and back. Oh, yeah, there we go. Downward facing dog now, press those hips up and back. Words are hard, I get into it and I lose my train of thought. Meeting in that downward facing dog. Fabulous work, you guys. Once again, option to stay right here, option to just find that 3-legged dog, or option for our flipped dog. That left leg gets moving. Oh, maybe it's the right leg. I'm losing it. Right leg gets moving. It is. Flip it if you'd like. Keep it in that down dog if you prefer not to flip it. Well, let's bring it on over to meet that downward facing dog. Right hand re-meets that mat, right leg. Let's take it into our 3-legged dog. Bend our left knee, sweep our right leg forward. We're in that lunge. Take a moment, make sure the ankle is underneath the knee. We've got our balance pose next. Here comes that warrior three, one more time. Taking it up, balancing on that right leg, finding that long left leg. Once again, feel free to use those toes. Feel free to use that prop. Hands can be at heart center, arms can be out long. Take one more breath here, big inhale. Exhale, sets that foot down, put into our crescent. Awesome work, you guys. Let's find our warrior two. We'll turn the arms open up. Beautiful. Our front palm lifted up and back. Well, let's take it to our extended side angle. Right center. Down, elbow towards the knee. Left arm up on top. Feel that half moon if that extra balance pose is in your practice this evening. If not, we're still in that extended side angle. Maybe the arm is connecting. You found that half moon. Take one more breath here and release it down. Let's all take it up into that warrior two. Fabulous work. Crescent from here. Left hand, left heel. We're going to hinge forward the hips. We're going to meet in our forward fold. Step the left to meet the right. Forward fold. Awesome work. Give me a halfway lift. Nice flat spine. Exhale, fold this forward. Let's take an extended mountain. Palms meet overhead. Hands down right center. Awesome work, you guys. Now we're going to finish off with one final challenge, one final little balance pose. We're going to go into our tree pose. So I'm just going to turn to face the camera. Right, for our tree pose, we've got a couple of options. The very first thing I want you to do is come to that mountain pose, take a moment, feel the corners of those feet. The inside ball, the outside ball, and the heel are all in contact with the mat. Take a moment, maybe just kind of give yourself a little, bring the heel off the mat, finding kind of where your balance is at, finding kind of what kind of surface you're working with. You know, we've done a lot of balance already this evening, so hopefully the awareness of those muscles in the lower leg is kind of there. So we're going to start off with that leg as our stand because we just worked the right leg so hard. Our first option, we're going to transfer to our left leg. Left leg. First option, keep toes in contact with the mat and just bring that heel to meet your ankle. If you're ready to take it up from there, second option, brings that foot right to that calf. You feel everything away from your center line on your knee. So we're just avoiding pressure on the inside of our knee here. If this feels good, you feel and you want to take it up a notch, you can use that assist or you can just slide it up, just making sure, once again, we're not putting that pressure on the inside of the knee. We will avoid it, come above or below it. So if you're still below it, don't inch it just to that knee, just to find a little more challenge. From there, we're working on opening the knee towards that side wall, and then find a comfortable spot for your hands. If center is what's grounding to you and what's helping for you to find your balance, you can keep them right here. If out long is assisting a little bit more, feel free to find that. For more challenge, you can take those arms up towards the ceiling, find your branches of your tree. And for even challenge, if you feel super stable and steady, maybe you look up, maybe you give yourself a little bit of motion with the branches side to side. That might take a little work for me this evening, but that's okay. We're here a couple more moments of work. Keeping our nice and long and strong, tensing through those abs. Excellent work, you guys. Give me one more nice big inhale. And then with your exhale, from wherever your foot is, releasing it away from that leg, bringing it down, finding a little recovery there. Maybe you shake it out, maybe you step forward, taking your moment. All we've got to finish this out is be on that other side. So getting that opposite side ready, that standing leg ready on that second side. Once again, our first option, building up. We're taking that heel to that ankle, toes are still on the ground. Option up from there, if you're feeling good, takes us to that shin, that calf. Option from there, again, make sure you're avoiding the inside of the knee, taking it up a little higher. Once you find that, keep it in a nice and strong position for those hands. Maybe they're right at center. Maybe long for a little more sit. Maybe you take them up towards the ceiling for a little challenge. Maybe you look up just slightly for a little more challenge. Maybe you got a little nice easy breeze through those branches for even more challenge. Final challenging posture of the day. You guys awesome. Open that knee just slightly towards that side wall. Give me one more big inhale. And our next exhale releases that leg, bring it down, shake it out a little bit. Awesome work, you guys. Whew. All right, great. We did a lot of hard work for that lower body today, so let's just find a quick little stretch. Give me an inhale, take the arms out and up. Exhale, fold the forward, fingertips down towards the toes. Once again, maybe you kind of walk it out a little bit, bend and stretch those knees. All right, take one nice hip flexor stretch here, and then we will be done. So I'm just going to turn sideways so I have some space. I'm going to take my right leg back. I'm going to let that knee meet the mat. Just going to press my hips just slightly forward here. I'm going to use my left knee for a little bit of support. If you want a super intense stretch here, you can release that stretch just slightly and bring that right foot up to meet that hand. Super intense quad stretch. If you found that nice and easy, release it. We're just going to switch sides. I'm just going to bring my left knee down. I'm going to bring my right leg forward. Once again, option to just press forward into those hip flexors. Option to release a little bit and intensify by pulling that left foot up, grabbing it, finding your balance. Awesome work this evening, you guys. If you found that left leg, letting it release, playing those hands, curl the left toe under, lift the knee, step it forward to meet the right. Nice and easy, slow and controlled. Roll it up to our extended mountain. Point right up overhead. When you get to the top there, exhale to pull those hands down center. All right, thank you so much as always for joining me this lovely evening. No class next week for MLK Day. If you guys have an awesome rest of your Monday, an awesome rest of your week, and I'll see you guys next time. The light in me honors the light in you, bowing as we say namaste.